We set the trend in the script.
Absolutely. You are, you have been, you will be under the groove.
Snip this glue, get in the zone, because we got to go do something. So that's what we did. And I'm going to be honest with you, I used to like it. You got people from the east and the west and different places, to come over and groove with us.
Was Hoover'Z a part of Hoover? Never met a Hoover'Z. Me either, never in my life. But
a part of what was called the Bonzella Crips.
Hoover'Z ain't started no Hoover'Z. And we hit that hand moving on you, walking in your house.
Wait, do that again.
Hit that hand moving on you, that messed up your whole party. You are, you have been, you will be under the groove.
He was there on a couple of major melees with first generation. Before second generation was ever thought about.
I know.
Before second generation was ever even thought about.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? They wasn't even, second generation wasn't even thought about. You got to remember, second generation came 1976. That's when we started calling them dudes bicentennials. Because see, we was bicentennials too, but we was there before.
Before that,
we was off the porch already.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
I mean,
I got you.
I don't think I'm wrong on that because I recall.
Well, there might be some debate about it. You know what I mean? Somebody might have an opinion. That's fine.
Well, I don't. You know me.
You care one way or another.
Opinion, I would.
When we're talking about this get down in terms of culture, in terms of trends, so we didn't left it. By junior high, man, we was up and running, right? You were up and running.
True.
What was brought to the table by this generation that that was in the middle of this?
Not a goddamn thing, bro.
No. What did we bring in terms
and
of
I'm
culture?
fixing to tell you, not a damn thing. Right. We didn't care about nothing at that time because we didn't know any better at that time. At that time. I will make sure that you understand very clearly, bro. We didn't bring nothing to the table but negativity because we didn't know no better. All we learned was negativity. We didn't really start understanding things. I hate to say it, bro, until we start doing time. And the sites start. We start talking to them sites. And they was telling us, you crazy. I mean, real talk. Because we didn't, bro. We couldn't have brought. Now I'm gonna show you something. Let me back up a little bit. Because one thing that we did do, and we did respect and appreciate is our elders. Growing up within the community of where we come from, you see them old people putting out their trash or whatever, we stop whatever we doing. I don't care if we just broke in a car. It don't matter what we do. We was going.
Oh, we burglarized the house down.
We going to help Miss So-and-so take her trash out. You know, that's one thing we did learn, respect for our elders. You know, and I take that.
That comes from your upbringing, though,
Come from your upbringing. And I take that to this day and look at these youngsters, man.
You know, times have changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the world has changed. So I think you should equate that. You look at that like that. Times have changed.
Well, everything,
man. It's evolved.
Changed. It evolves to a different.
It's like the set. It has evolved from Hoover Crips to Hoover Criminals.
Well,
that evolution, shit gonna change,
Since you brought that up,
I know we're gonna address that. Trust me, we'll address that. But let's go back to the trend. So set days started. Is it your opinion? Is that a fact? Started with 7 for who?
That was a fact, bro.
No other.
We had a holiday, a national holiday that the police could not touch us. and that's where we won at.
When was our first set day?
Our first set day was in, I can tell you, matter of fact, bro, that was in
Lake Elsinore.
Lake
Captain
Elsinore.
Mons.
So that was 1982,
I'm pretty sure it was.
81, 82.
It could have been 81, but it was early on.
That was it. In Durham, the boy Durham, he used to play in Police Church, was the one, and Keisha got the buses, and we in Lake Elsinore.
Oh, Miss Marsha.
Miss
On
Marsha,
74th.
the
On 74th with the yeah.
See, a lot of these dudes. See, again, let's back up. Let's back up a little bit. Because growing up, we had a team post.
Mm-hmm.
We had a center.
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes don't understand what I mean when I say team post center.
Yeah.
Which was community home, house, building where you go to play cabs, shoot basketball, learn crafts, all this.
Right.
And we had a lady in our part of town, Miss Marsha, son Raymond, Raymond was the son, that she did that for us for 2 different locations.
Yeah.
We had one on 74th in Hoover, and then she moved it to 69th in Hoover.
Yeah.
And then we had the original one that was on 80th.
Yeah.
Which is where the
homie G's was though.
Where the G's, that's
G's hung up.
Where they came from.
And this is where they get the misconception that there was an 80 Hoover.
Where?
Because the homies hung on 80th in Hoover, 7480. It wasn't really no 80.
No.
But the homies hung there at the church.
That's because listen, bro. Listen,
trust me, there never really was
I'm gonna show you why.
Hoover.
I'm gonna show you
not
why.
With the G's, but they said 80 because they hung there in back of the apartments next to the center.
We had, listen to me, bro. We had can I say these names? I don't really want to say these names, but we had several homies that lived on 80th.
Absolutely.
I mean, real homies.
Absolutely.
And the center was in motion at the time. Okay. This is before Bandit got shot.
Okay.
This is right before Bandit got put in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Bandit got put in the wheelchair. Nice game. They closed the center down a little bit after that. We moved to 80th. I mean to 60, not over Tunnel Talk, 69 over. The homies challenged the 80s. Wasn't no 80s. It was just them dudes grew up on that block. And niggas like the 80s, it was a meeting. No O. No O. What you mean no O? Butchman, couple of homies. End up getting down that day in the street. Behind that, I think Ort and Pookie brother. What's that nigga name? Eric. Because we was like, it ain't gonna be no O. Yeah. Now, we had a 748 train, which was fine. But the concept of 8074, bro, that was quite maybe, I would say 2 to 3 dudes actually pushing that. Not no whole crew of dudes.
Yeah, okay. You know, I ain't gonna debate you on it, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll come up for sure. But it was a hub.
Yes, it was.
That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? It was where the homies went and hung out at. Rest in peace, Leo and all them. They would go down there.
It was
you know, but it wasn't never official Hoover set. You know what I mean?
No,
it never was. But that being said, like I said, I want to get back to these trends and you know how Hoover had set the stage for, well, the production for a lot of trends that we see today in LA. Set days is one of them, and for a lot of other sets, they call them hood days.
Well, I put
that's us,
the trends.
Right? That's us.
Yeah, that's us. The trends is that particular trend. If these dudes can, I would ask any one of these dudes because they all got hood days now.
Mhm.
I would ask any one of these dudes, when was y'all first hood day?
Yeah.
Or when did y'all start this? Because I know for a fact, bro, I'm telling you, we talking years ago, bro.
Yeah.
And 4 days, 7 month, 4th day is the 4th of July.
All right.
That was the first day that we were able to go somewhere without the police touching us.
Yeah, say anything. Now that being said, I'm pretty sure that that's established. You know what I'm saying? Most sets didn't even start to way after the fact. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's a debate. You know, I don't think that's a debate. Here's another one. In terms of gear, sportswear and shit like that.
With the gear, hey, motherfuckers can tell me, I'll say what they won't know. Them motherfucking O's.
60s?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
Socks.
They had that socks that New York Yankee had
Yeah.
before anything.
Before the H-hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we pushed the H-hat, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We started pushing it, but we was knowing them niggas before we started pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
If a nigga tell me I'm lying,
and at the time we was all right with 60s.
I might be right. That's what I'm saying. We wasn't beefing with them dudes at that time.
Yeah.
We was not beefing with them dudes at that time.
Yeah.
But we started pushing the H-hat, bro. Let me see. That had to be 80. We was grooving the SF.
I just said the SF, we was grooving the San Francisco 49ers groove.
Right.
Not the Giants.
Right.
The SF, the black and orange SF, didn't come to 84, 85.
Okay. Well, I can't over tell you what they was pushing. They was pushing that what's that motherfucking the rapper dudes that had the little underground tape with the
King T and all that.
Yeah.
King T.
All that crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know. And I went and did a violation, came on 85, and your boy Biz Markie and all them dudes with the you would grow up to be nothing but a Hoover, either in jail or so we showed them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how we
shit.
Changed the lyrics.
It went to a whole.
And I, as a matter of fact, I think we first would change
exactly a lot of songs. Okay,
easy. Now, not to take nothing from nobody, man, from any other area or section. The 60s, we know they wore New York jackets. That's how we identified them. They wanted to be identified.
True.
That's what they wore. The New York jackets.
I will say this. Though, okay, the trend within the H-hats or the SF, to me, the sports paraphernalia, that
apparel or whatever
paraphernalia that went to the games was late.
What you mean late?
Late. What I mean by late is because other entities start developing it. Now the P-hat,
60s.
This is what I'm saying. The P-hat, we already knew that was Power Rules.
All right, but were they wearing that at that time?
No.
So we're talking about trend
That's why
setting.
I said late. Why you think I use the term late?
Okay, but let's speak on trend setting because that's where we at right now.
Okay,
we're talking about set days or hood days, what they call them now.
Okay,
apparel or paraphernalia. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said. All right.
So you have to look at certain things that happen during these eras of trend setting.
And stay in your mic because I want people to hear what you're saying.
Of trend setting, because see, a lot of homies don't understand.
I think trend setting is important.
It's very important.
I think trend setting it sets the precedent in terms of who did what first.
Not only that,
right,
bro. Not only that. It set the trend set. Not only who did what first. Where do you go from here? Do you go this way? Do you go this way? Because a lot of homies, I'm fixing to show you. Because a lot of homies with, like we say that, with the days. we was today, for instance. Now you have to be smart enough to whereas we are us. We can't speak us, but us, we're in our 60s now. So therefore, our days have to be on our levels. We got to sue this bull. We got to represent as men now. We don't go represent with hats flipped up, rags touching the ground like we used to.
That's another thing.
And you did, and I did too.
And the G over there with the OG golf hat.
I'm just saying.
Bill
You
flipped
know,
up.
you know what I said,
Man.
But it's just that's why I say. That's why I said what I said, bro.
Yeah.
You have to understand that time, during that time, bro. When we were setting trends, we had to set them different than anybody else. Because everybody was thinking of something to do to outdo the next. Our thing, when we came with whole suits, SF, everything from the boot to the staff. You niggas just wear socks in New York Giants. Nigga, we had the whole uniforms on. Going to functions.
So 7-Eleven, the deuce and the 9. You have been, you will be.
But we ain't gang banging. This is about education. We trying to educate our youth right now, nigga. Hey. Said day is the best day to skip walking across the floor in the best way. From trade to the one way. It's a stump day. LA to the NY. Let this phone play.
Back in them days, it was love, loyalty, respect, and honesty.
That's my nigga Gumby right
there. You know, ex-busters, hooks, and snitches put on pedestals and ventilators.
Say lows on that Hoover'Z shit. HIP, Tony Moon, one of the hardest poets I ever heard connected with this star shit. Hey. Baby Jap and Jap 5, quick to set it off on the mic in the shack live.
When the shit get real and feel to the wheel, and then you will see you sitting up in that motherfucker looking at that light sin, that death sin.
Then they run into a witness stand, telling on their own homeboys.
Hoover'Z stomp all night like this. Hoover'Z stomp
I know trouble, I know how to start them gas, no trouble.
I'm a New York nigga in the Pacific Sun. I say West Side Hoover if you ask where I'm from. Father's California runs, infusing my lungs. All about my bread, I ain't leaving.
Understand the end game. What's your end game? What's your purpose?
Keep one in the head or I don't need a gun. I'm with Hawk on Hoover Street with a low ass jump. Hopping down Figueroa with a wholesale and cut.
You have been.
Like this, come second to none. Grooving like Scone Young, grooving like Booker Bone. I'm bad to the bone.